What we're going to do today is we're going to work with an array list. So we're going to make like a Spotify playlist. We're going to add songs into a playlist with the artist and the length. Hopefully you read it. So I'm just going to get started going here quickly. We're actually only going to make one global variable. So remember, up here, outside of all the methods, these are the global variables. Today we're only going to make one of them. And because there's no object calling it, it's the scanner class, which we've made hundreds of times, but we need to put static in front of it since there's no object calling this particular variable. So remember, import scanner, so we hover over and we import. Okay, so now the main method, and that's going to be our only global variable. We're going to send a lot of things around in the parameters and arguments. So public static void main string args. So there's the keys to the car. That starts up the program. Everything's going to start in here. So today, because we're making a playlist and we don't know how many songs we're going to put in there, we don't want to use an array. Array is when we know exactly how big it is. What we're going to use today is an array list. And you have to remember how to type this. It's a little different than the array. It's capital A array list, so it's a class that Java built for you. So we're going to have to import that. And then it's the less than and greater than symbols, and inside of it, capital S string. And then I'm just going to call this music. So that's its name, music. Its type is a string, and it's in the class ArrayList. And to finish it, ArrayList right here, and less than greater than string, and then parentheses here, and no number because we don't know the size it's going to be. So that creates the array list, and let's import the array list, and that goes there. So we imported an array list called music, and it's going to hold strings. So the first thing we want to do is fill it up with music. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a method called fill music. And what we're going to do here is we're going to send over that array list we just built. And inside the parentheses, the argument we're going to send over in the parameter there is music. We're actually going to send the array list over. We're going to say, okay, fill music, whatever that method is, work with the array list. Now, because we're going to want to know the array list, we're going to have to bring it back. So you put music here and it equals. So what that means right now, fill music is going to do something with the array list. And then because the left side of the equal sign is music, it's going to send the array list back. So inside the method here, we're going to make the method. So the method's going to be public static array list. So now this is kind of tricky because right here, because we're going to return something, we're going to return the array list, we have to say what we're returning. So that means the last line of this code is going to say return, and it's actually going to return an array list. So here's the method name, fill music. And then here's the array list we're going to bring in through the arguments. So string, and we can name this anything. So we'll just name it noise. So there. So music right here highlighted inside the parentheses gets sent over here. It's an array list and gets caught right here. And now we're going to use the word noise for this array list, and we're going to fill it up. And so that means, and I'm going to put this down because it just always bothers me, the last line here has to be return noise. So what that does is it returns an array list, and look, immediately it highlights the word array list. It sends it back and turns it back to the word music. So how do we want to fill this up? How do we fill an array list? Well, it's not too bad to fill up an array list, but first, let's put this line. Let's ask the person that's using this program, the user, if they'd like to enter in a song. Would you like to enter in a song? And I'm just going to put this so they don't mess up. Let's put answer yes or no. So hopefully we'll just type yes or no. Let's not put any safety measures in case they mess that up. And then we'll put the string answer. So whatever they answer right there is whatever they type in the keyboard, whatever the next thing is they type in the keyboard. And last thing is, before I go in there, I have no songs right now. So int song equals 0, and that number is going to change every time we enter in a song. I actually don't know if I'm going to use that, but I'm going to go along with that for a second. So while, okay, so we're going to make a while loop now. Answer dot equals ignore case. So just in case they type yes in all uppercase, all lowercase, maybe they capitalize the E, then I'll say ignore that. We know what yes means. We know that they want to enter in a song. So then we'll just ask that. System.out.println, what is the name of the song? And that's pretty easy. ArrayList are pretty easy, so I just ask them, I save the name they type in. That just gets the name into the computer, so the computer now, okay, that's name. Now I want to add it into the array list. And the way we do that, remember, because the array list right now is noise inside this method, noise.add name. So in spot 0 in the array list, now it has a name. Then I'll ask, I want to ask println which artist made, and then here we'll put, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, now look at noise, and I'm going to say get song. So remember, song right now is at 0 before we begin. So spot 0 was the name of the song we just put in. So it'll say which artist made, and then it'll go to spot 0 and it'll say whatever the song title is that we just put in. And then I'll do noise, I need to save this again, string artist equals kb.next. And then I'm going to add that into the array list. So artist. So that adds artist in. That goes along. Then, after that, last piece, I want to ask println how long? How long is, and again, making it specific, noise.getSong. It's going to pop the name up. And we're going to say in seconds. And that will help with the last method so we don't have to convert. We'll just say you're going to type it in seconds. We're going to save that. And now, although you know seconds is a number, we said the array list was a string. So we're going to have to save it as a string. So string time equals whatever they type next. And then we're going to add that into the array list, .add time. And then the last piece we want to do is we want to ask them, system.out.println, would you like to enter in a song? So again, we're asking them because now it's time for them to tell us whether they're going to enter in a second one or not. Yes or no, and I put the quotation marks at the wrong spot. So remember what this is going to do, this is going to keep the while loop going. So if they type in yes, it will loop through all this. Now, if they enter in yes, we want it to go to the next song. Well, spot 0 would hold the song. Spot 1 in the array list would hold the artist name. Spot 2 would hold the length. So then we want the next song to actually be stored at spot 3. So what I'm going to put here is song equals song plus 3. So if they end up typing another song, is going to know to go to the 3rd spot and save it there. Now I'm gonna minimize this. We're done with this method. That does its whole job. And I'm gonna go back to the main method. And inside the main method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out the array list. Now I'm going to say here, now array lists are so much easier to print out than arrays. That all I do is I type this music, and it will type out the array list. And I'll just run it real quick so you could see it. If I run this, would you like to enter it in? Yes. Name of the song, truck. The artist that made truck was car. How many seconds? 134 seconds. Would I enter in a second one? No, thank you. Would you like to enter a song? Oh, I forgot to store. I messed something up there. So I'm going to close this out for a second. Go back here. I don't think I actually made a spot to save the answer. I never checked the answer. I said, would you like to do this? And I never checked. What I need to do here is do answer equals kb.next. And I'm going to stop this video here and I'll start up the next one in a second. But you could run that right now and it will work perfect.